Hey, crypto snipers on the run, calling at you from Western Australia, the civilized land of Perth. Glad to be with you. It's the crypto sniper, quick run past XRP, which has put in a big day today. Let's get straight to the chart. Bang, 4 hourly setup. Yep. So this entire setup has been about, as we've explained before, the 250 and the 200 cents. That's $2. We've had short dips through that were technical tests only without follow through. So that was largely support. Key level of significance, just run to the downside and reverse back up. And then we had small icebergs above the 250 level. Of course, the first initial move went as high as 290, but that was not repeated, ever smaller until the breakout of the upside HVF. So this has been about the key levels of significance at 2 and 250. This is known as pegging, where you get round numbers serving a key role. The target of the HVF is going to take you through 335. That points to it's possibly might not have enough, or it will just do a technical run of 350. It might not have enough, but clearly the 50-cent marks are key. So the other slightly smaller dotted lines is up here. You failed to make the 3, even on the exhaustive move up to the upside there. So you fell short of that. We want to build a station. This entire winding up that's been going on here is all about smashing us above the 3 level. So 335 gets run. Will you pull back below 335? Will you support on the old 2.9, which was the high? Or are you going to run through and make a 350? As part of that remains to be seen. But definitely upside, key break. So our third high over here coincides with the key level of significance. I'm just going to tone that down a bit. You can see the green, you can see the red, the stop is there. Break, pull back into the axis level there, nice little dip too, and then run. We run our first interim, we had a pause there, and we're going onwards and upwards, and we are getting close to, you'll see there's a gray line there, that is your H1, the high one of the overall structure. So a little bit of a pullback before running the 2.9, which is the high, obviously legacy high, and the 3 is not long after. Our second interim where we may get a little bit of a pause is 3.12. So after running the 3, do you dip below before surging through? And if you surge through, do you run the 350? So I think the 50-cent increments are important. But the target here is 335. Our leverage trades will reduce substantially at 335. There is one other wild card to bring in to the XRP analysis, and that's to remind everybody of the macro structure and pattern. Going to the weekly for that. Taking you back down. And updated the community with this early on, before travel and again. And I want to just warn everybody about how this might pan out. So let's get the big draw on. The big draw is here, and that is this particular structure. This is the hugie that everyone's talking about now but didn't see before it happened. That's right, the big one. And that there was obviously a winding up structure over here in 2017 that gave you your super spike in XRP, and its significance right up to $3.31 at the high over here. So that traditional entry was broken there. We of course were in a lot earlier there. We were lucky, we'd been tracking it for a while. I'm going to take off the smaller HVF, that's the 4-hour one we were just looking at, just to highlight this level. This level right here is 455. It would take something very big for Donald Trump to say, maybe on the inauguration speech or some other announcement, for the 4 hourly to do more than 335, 350 and head towards the 4. And to get to a 455 second interim, remember we expect at some point to run the 455, and then it's such a significant level that you get some degree of pullback and time is killed and no further gains are made before eventually getting on your horse and looking at the 1935, boom, and breaking that level, which will probably see the 20 fall. That's our macro target for this weekly setup. Reminder, we've never changed, we've never wavered. People got so pissed off because we said early on, around about these levels, this is what's going to be coming. And then we would sit quietly, nothing came. We did another alert there when that happened. It didn't go further. It dipped off. We went quiet. And then when we got back in, we got there. And in between these periods, everyone was like, what about XRP? What about XRP? We're all waiting for the bus. And then the bus came, and it came big. Bang. Brought you up to here. So the 4 hourly has a 335 target. I don't think you go in one move to the 455 for the second interim, which is the next seminal level on the big time frame. I think there's going to potentially be some pause. So if we go back to the 4 hourly and put it on there, let's just show you back to the 4 hourly and have a look at that little $2, $2.50 vibe game that's been going on inside of this bigger structure. You can now have some context of what we're actually talking about. I need to put him back on. We took him off, so let's take another go. There we go. And we say that's your low 3, and we're looking at the draw like that. So I think it's wise to take leverage off at the target, most of it. Could you have a little bit of overrun? Yes, you could. You could get the 350 as part of that overrun. But when it comes to how much it might overperform, it's not a clear-cut overperform. It's not the first in the new trend. It's a smaller time frame. But I also recognize there's fundamentals that could come into play with Trump inauguration, crypto being at the forefront. Who knows what he says? Trump Jr. met Michael Saylor, Mr. BTC Max Lev. Trump Sr. met Brad Garlinghouse. I don't know. Is that a priority of ranking? Let's go have a look at the XRP BTC. That's HBAR. Let's go have a look at the XRP. Well, there's BTC. So I also want to update what I've been saying on BTC. So, we warned there was a possibility of a reversal as part of all of this. So what tends to happen is as time goes by and it doesn't happen, and you make a succession of marginally lower lows, marginally lower lows, marginally lower lows, marginally lower lows, but each one gets rebuffed. Remember, we say once, twice, 3 times, and then a lady. So you should have broken and gone at that point. Instead, you got reversed back up, and you tried again, and you got reversed even higher back up. Also, even though this is an ascending broadening structure, which can mean downside continuation, its scale has now got so big relative to the bearish pole. The bearish pole is that big and this broadening structure is that big. And what's actually happened now is you've had 5 successive marginally lower lows, which are the technical traders' trap, by the way. Everyone goes, new low, this time it's going, short it. And as soon as you short it, it pumps and takes you out. New low, short it as you go through that low. Short it. You get a couple of pips to the good, boom, up to the go. New low. This is those that trade support and resistance got murdered here. New low, short it, boom, up. New low, short it, boom, up. 5 times you would have got slapped in the face on it. That's feedback. That is market feedback on it. The support and resistance trader getting murdered on this. That shoulder isn't happening. It's now extended very far. Now, I can't say it absolutely won't happen. You've met the splitter here on this rally, but the likelihoods is reducing. It would have to spill hard from here, bounce and spill and go straight into the capitulation for the scale and the proportionality of the structure still to hold. That's what, if this is to be a head and shoulder, that's what it would have to look like. This is a very broad right shoulder now. And even though, as I say, it's an ascending broadening, which does point to continuation, its scale is disproportionate to the sell-off leg now, and it's had 5 goes at the descending, that's this line in orange, the descending, the basing descending grind line. The basing is at the bottom, it is descending, and this is what's called a succession of marginally lower lows. That is hammering out actually a bottom in some senses, and there's clearly a defensive buyer that comes in not much below. That maybe knows something, or maybe it's been held up by big forces, we don't know, but the point of the matter is it's coming back into the zone each time and has done it that many times that it's no longer. So BTC's reversal, this potentially sorts itself up by squaring up later and forming upside continuation. You might have a big structure like that, and then eventually you go to the 103, and then you square up and you can form an upside continuation on a bigger time frame that'll look something like that. So the opportunity window closes. These things are hot and dangerous for a period. Then when they don't get pushed through and the new information continues to come, that risk, that shooting star going to hit your planet, now as it's getting closer and closer, it's quite clearly passing. It's quite close, but it's passing. And as it gets nearer, it's not as close. And in fact, it's a nothing burger in the end. That could be the way this reversal is going. So overall, it looks supportive into the Trump crypto looks supportive. There's lots of stress elsewhere in markets, debt markets, particularly watch the Market Sniper YouTube channel. Don't forget, buy gold. It's a very powerful defense against the collapse in the debt system. On our links below with pure gold and ITM trading. But on this particular scenario, Bitcoin looks like it's hammering out and is probably going to be okay if it continues to not have a spill that triggers. If it straight away after I release this video absolutely throws it down, bounces and spills, it's done it still in time, but it's come late. But that likelihood of that reduces the longer it stays above the line, the 93 line. There's another token I wanted to talk to you about, and that's XDC. So let's get into that one. Let's show you that one. I think it was somewhere here. This particular one. So a lot of guys have been asking about XDC. We love your comments, particularly on the status tokens, which we think are going to do very, very well. XDC, status token, often put hand in hand with XRP, HBAR, other ISO 2202 type cryptos that are designed to be fit for purpose by the banking cartel and all the others for use in your new digital system. This one had 3 hourly. We can even bring it down to a 2 hourly setup and tighten it up. Nice little HVF on XDC, smashed its way up as well. Triggered entry long, short pullback to the funnel after the first interim, go, small dip all the way back down to here on the second interim, look one way, go the other way candle, reverses all the way back, goes up, and now some volatility and chop, big hammer kind of shooting star and chilling here. Not the time to chase in long now, was a great entry over there, a decent risk reward, 3.5. And you had to stop somewhere at the bottom. It should be on the bottom. Let's make sure it's grabbed the bottom there. It might change it a little bit. There we go. 2.92 is the correct one. Let's get rid of the other one. Take that one off. 2.92. We like to be accurate. Okay. Good little run. Good little run on a small time frame. Looking good. So what have we done? We've updated you on the powerful outlook for XRP. Why we think it's a good place to potentially take your leverage trades off on 335 stay investment, convert those profits into the investment holding, but you can expect a bit of a pullback there. If it was super bullish environment, you could maybe go past the 350. Whether you could do the 455, I think that's a bridge too far in spite of what might be said. But if something super bullish was said, who knows, maybe you could make the macro, that's the weekly patterns, second interim. Either way, I don't think it's necessarily too far off. Thereafter, we might pause and we could lose months and be lower for a while before we get the next stage and the next narratives building up to drive XRP higher. It remains a cornerstone of our investment holding, XRP. We also expect many of the other status tokens to do well. Some will do even more so. The one token I didn't draw for you as part of this update is the, let's leave gold for a while, also doing well, by the way. And a perfect counterbalance to the digital holdings. As I say, pure gold below. We use them. You can too. Let's have a look at Coinbase on XLM. Also had a little bit of a bump out of this flag. Did it comply perfectly to this flag? It doesn't look so natural. This is a wind up, don't get me wrong, but the flag draw here looks a little bit out of sorts because you broke, you came back, you broke just through. I'm not sure if the flag draw is the perfect draw for that, but you have certainly come out of what was looking like a flag continuation, and you were under pressure during that period you're really being squeezed up against your basing descending grind line that eventually threw up a falling wedge that gave you your catapult to the other side. This in of itself is a winding up pattern. Look at that low vol funneling. Look at those bodies there, those candle bodies there. Super low vol, you get the pop that came with XRP. Has it been an especially good performer? Well, you can have a look at your bubbles. And look at the week. Let's just update that, because it's been in some senses a tough week and a tough day for a number of cryptos in the last week. You know, there was a bit of coming off. So XDC, you've got your 31.18. It's a smaller one. XRP 21.44. These are big green. This is a big market cap token. I'm very happy with that 21%. You know, you don't need extreme margin to be doing really, really well with that. XDC is huge at 32. Those are your goodies. XLM is at 8.3. Again, proving to me I'm still happy to be in XRP, even though on many instances I expect XLM to do a bigger percentage. I just think the liquidity and everything else that we're doing is super, super strong. Small shout out for PulseX getting a bit of a recovery after Richard Hart, aka Schürrle, was shown to be on Interpol's site. That did some damage to his site. Also note HBAR up 6.54%. Not quite the same flyer that XRP has been, but it can come and have its moment as well in due course. Happy to see Monero, if it is truly free and untracked, putting in a good stint. So interesting little bit of an update for you on that. ADA 2.1, most of the life actually in our status tokens. Okay, so reiterate, XRP, key hold 335. Leveraged trades, I'll start to unwind from that level to a degree, hoping that it'll deliver. In the meantime, very happy to be investment long. That remains on. Don't forget the $20, the $19.35, $19.35 that we expect to see XRP trade through the $20 mark. That'll be a great moment. Will it happen this year? Let's see. What do you think? When XRP trade $20? And think about how insane that was to say during that period. People were saying it ain't happening at all. When you were sitting at 40s and 60 cents down here, churning, going nowhere since June low of 2022 till just before we ran October 24. 2 years, 6 months of nothing burger. That was your funneling, flat, low vol that did just enough to give you a H3 and your RL3. Now you can actually talk about $4, $5. If I came to you and was talking about $20, most people didn't believe the possibility of that target. Now so much has changed. You've got a new president, you've got a new vibe towards crypto, you've got the head of Ripple meeting right at the very top. It looks a lot more positive. Don't forget what a call $20 was when this was nothing and trading as low as 20 cents. Talking of $20 was absolute, sounded like balloon juice personified. Anyway, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for taking us through 50,000. Look at those gold links. Balance up. It's less volatile. I warn of the demand destroying event. I warn of the interest rates crisis. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And often you will be a forced seller in the bad moments when everyone else is having a bad moments, and the markets, stock markets, housing markets, crypto markets, metals markets are all selling off. Gold goes down far less. It's your value at the time you most need it that matters. Something that super rockets, you're never selling, greed keeps you in. Suddenly everybody's losing their job, it's a lockdown, this is happening, that is happening, CV19 Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV, or some other event, everybody's being cut, everybody's being hit at the same time. Everybody needs liquidity. When they can't have it, got to make a rent check, lost job, sell your crypto. What do you think that crypto's doing? Bitcoin went from 14 to 4,000 for the CV19 period after a localized high just short of 14, and in some exchanges actually traded 3 all the 9s. And during the yen crisis fell from 70 to 49. You also want something in your mix that doesn't go down much when you most need it and continues to operate with the inflation and the proliferation that the central banking cartel is doing. Pure gold link below. ITM trading for the US guys who want to get delivered from within their own borders. And yeah, thanks for the support. Catch you later. Hope you enjoyed this update, and we'll be speaking more to you from Kookaburra land. the land of the kookaburra, the bird that doesn't make barky noises in the tree. Yes, catch you next time.
Tired of profit wipeouts and blown accounts from following trade signal groups and other YouTube channels? Looking for a better way to trade, reduce your stress, and minimize your risk? Become a skilled technical analyst and see the charts and markets in a new light using the successfully proven HVF method by Francis Hunt, while being surrounded and supported by a principled, structured, and experienced community. Enjoy a constructive learning environment while practically trading markets, supported by a bespoke platform run through browser and app, specifically designed to teach and engage you whilst learning and growing as the markets move. This is not a Telegram or Slack signal group. All trade ideas are based on a proprietary technical analysis process honed over decades, which is the HVF method, leading to trade ideas with fast-moving breakouts and tight stops, exact entries and exits, nuanced interim considerations, and ultimately, strong rewards. Submissions are graded and scored by Francis for potential high-quality setups, and we provide bespoke tools to help get the job done properly and with precision. Over time and with focused effort, you'll begin to look at charts and price action just like Francis. Community updates every day by Francis and our 3 webinars a week provide a 360-degree approach, which are presented by our experienced team of trade leaders to spot potential trades. We're a community of self-actualized individuals, spanning the globe and active 24/7, 365. The premium community provides a warm, supportive, and cooperative place for people willing to listen, participate, contribute, and to learn. We've changed thousands of traders' lives. Transform your approach to trading now. Transform your life. Book an introductory call with us on the link below.